5 common sleep apnea symptoms seniors often miss. If you've ever woken up feeling more tired than when you went to bed, or if your partner has ever told you that you snore loudly, this video could change the way you think about your sleep forever. In the next few minutes, we're going to uncover 5 common sleep apnea symptoms that seniors often miss. These are signs that may already be happening in your daily life, signs that feel so ordinary, so basic, that you might brush them off. But here's the truth. Understanding these overlooked signals could literally change your health, your energy, and your quality of life. By the end of this video, you'll not only recognize these symptoms, you'll also discover one powerful method to help you take back control of your nights and your mornings. So stay with me, because you're about to walk away with knowledge that can help protect your heart, your brain, and even extend your years of healthy living. You might already know it. It might even seem basic, but the results are out of this world. If you're ready to finally connect the dots about why sleep sometimes leaves you drained instead of refreshed, this is your moment. Let's dive right in, and I promise you, the insight waiting at the very end is something you do not want to miss. Symptom 1. Loud, persistent snoring. Let's start with the very first sign, loud, persistent snoring. Now, many seniors laugh about snoring or brush it off as something everybody does. Maybe your spouse nudges you at night with a gentle elbow, or maybe you've even startled yourself awake with the sound of your own snore echoing in the quiet. It might feel like just an annoyance, something to joke about at family gatherings, but here's the truth. Snoring can often be your body's way of waving a red flag, signaling that your airway is being partially blocked during sleep. When your breathing becomes restricted, your brain responds instantly, waking you up just enough to clear the blockage. And this cycle doesn't happen once or twice, it can repeat itself dozens, sometimes hundreds of times a night, without you remembering a single one in the morning. That's why you might lie in bed for 8 full hours, only to wake up groggy, drained, and confused about why sleep didn't refresh you. What makes this even more dangerous is how easy it is to dismiss. Seniors especially tend to assume that snoring is just part of aging, or something harmless. But in reality, it's often the very first red flag for sleep apnea. Left untreated, it can lead to high blood pressure, heart disease, or even memory decline. Remember, your body whispers before it screams, and loud, relentless snoring is often that first whisper worth listening to. Symptom 2, morning headaches and dry mouth. The second symptom many seniors overlook is waking up with headaches or a dry mouth. Think about this. Have you ever rolled out of bed and felt that dull, pounding pressure at your temples? Or maybe a tight band across your forehead that lingers into breakfast? Or perhaps you've noticed your mouth so dry that you immediately reach for a glass of water? These might feel like small inconveniences, but they could actually be your body's way of signaling sleep apnea. Here's why. When your breathing stops and starts through the night, your oxygen levels drop, sometimes dozens of times each hour. Your brain reacts by sending stress signals through your body, and one common after effect is a morning headache. Dry mouth, on the other hand, often happens because you're breathing through your mouth instead of your nose during sleep, usually as a way of compensating for a blocked airway. Seniors often blame this dryness on medications, dehydration, or simply age. But when it happens frequently, it deserves attention. Now, headaches and dry mouth may not sound dramatic, but together they tell a bigger story. They whisper that your sleep isn't as restorative as it should be. And the best part? Once you address the root cause, those mornings can feel lighter, clearer, and more refreshing. You might already know it. It might even seem basic, but the results of paying attention to these clues are out of this world. Symptom 4. Sudden nighttime awakenings. The fourth sign, and one that many seniors rarely recognize, is sudden nighttime awakenings, often accompanied by gasping, choking, or a racing heartbeat. You might not always remember these awakenings clearly, but they can leave you restless and confused in the morning. What's happening is that your airway is collapsing while you sleep. Your brain senses the lack of oxygen and jolts you awake, forcing you to take a breath. Sometimes this comes with a choking sound or a sudden gasp for air. It's your body's emergency system kicking in. Now here's the part that's tricky. Because these awakenings are brief, you might not realize they're happening at all. Many seniors assume they're waking up just to use the bathroom or because they're light sleepers. But in reality, it may be your body fighting for breath. Over time, this cycle puts tremendous stress on your heart and blood vessels, raising your risk of high blood pressure, arrhythmias, stroke, and even heart failure. If you often wake up sweaty, startled, or feeling like you've just run a marathon, that's not ordinary aging. That's your body sounding an alarm. It might seem basic. It might even seem easy to dismiss, but the truth is powerful. Recognizing this sign could protect not just your nights, but your very life. You might already know it. It might even seem basic, but the results of awareness are out of this world. Symptom 5. Memory, mood, and concentration problems. The fifth sign of sleep apnea is one that touches the mind as much as the body. Memory issues, mood swings, and difficulty concentrating. Seniors often joke about senior moments when they forget a name or misplace their glasses. But what if those slips are linked not to age, but to disrupted sleep? When sleep apnea repeatedly robs your brain of oxygen and deep rest, the effects ripple out into your waking life. Think of your brain as a computer that needs a nightly update. Deep sleep is when it sorts memories, sharpens focus, and regulates emotions. Without that update, files get jumbled, emotions fray, and clarity fades. That's why untreated sleep apnea has been linked to depression, anxiety, and even dementia-like symptoms in older adults. Perhaps you've noticed yourself feeling irritable, more forgetful, or unable to enjoy hobbies that once brought joy. These are not just quirks of aging. They may be your brain begging for oxygen-rich, restorative rest. And the hopeful part? Many seniors report dramatic improvement in clarity, mood, and memory once sleep apnea is treated. Life feels brighter. Conversations feel sharper. Days feel more enjoyable. You might already know it. It might even seem basic. But when your brain finally receives the oxygen and sleep it craves, the results are nothing short of out of this world. This is one of the clearest reasons not to ignore the signs. Connecting the dots. Now that we've talked through these 5 symptoms, loud, persistent snoring, morning headaches and dry mouth, excessive daytime sleepiness, sudden nighttime awakenings, and memory, mood, or concentration problems, It's time to connect the dots. On their own, each one may seem small, something you could explain away, but when they appear together, they create a powerful pattern. They form a picture of sleep apnea quietly interfering with your health night after night. Here's the mistake many seniors make. They normalize these experiences. They tell themselves, well, this is just what getting older feels like. But the truth is, aging and apnea are not the same thing. One is a natural process. The other is a medical condition that can and should be treated. Ignoring it is like ignoring a leak in your roof. At first, it's just a drip, but over time, the damage spreads everywhere. The encouraging news? Sleep apnea is highly treatable once identified. From medical devices to lifestyle changes, there are ways to restore restful sleep. And the earlier you catch it, the more benefit you'll enjoy. So if you're recognizing yourself in these symptoms, don't dismiss it. Consider this your wake-up call. Because when you put the pieces together, you're not just identifying a sleep issue. You're opening the door to better energy, sharper focus, and healthier years ahead. Why seniors often miss the signs. Here's something important to understand. Seniors often miss the signs of sleep apnea because they appear so ordinary. Snoring? Everyone does it. Feeling tired? That's just part of aging, right? Waking up at night? Must be the bladder. These explanations are comforting because they make symptoms seem harmless, but they also mask the deeper issue. Your body isn't getting the oxygen it needs. Think of it this way. If your car engine made a strange noise every night, you wouldn't just say, "Oh, well, that's what old cars do." You'd get it checked before the problem became worse. Your body deserves the same attention. But because the signs of sleep apnea blend so easily with everyday aging, many seniors chalk them up to just getting older. That's why it often goes undiagnosed. And here's the catch. The longer it goes untreated, the more serious the risks become. Heart health, brain health, even your safety during the day. All of it can be compromised. But if you're watching this right now, you're already ahead of the curve. You're taking the step most people never take, looking deeper. You might already know some of this. It might even feel basic, but acknowledging it can change everything. Awareness opens the door to action, and action leads to results that are truly out of this world. The real-life impact on daily living. Let's talk about how this actually affects your day-to-day life. Sleep apnea isn't just something that happens while you're lying in bed. It spills over into every waking moment. Imagine starting your day already running on empty. You feel drained before breakfast. Simple tasks feel heavier. Conversations blur. Driving feels riskier. Even hobbies that once brought joy feel less appealing when you're battling exhaustion. For seniors, this matters more than ever. Energy is precious, independence is precious, and time with loved ones is priceless. Sleep apnea steals from all of these. It makes mornings sluggish, afternoons foggy, and evenings restless. And over time, it can chip away at confidence, making you less likely to go out, socialize, or enjoy the things you love. But here's the hopeful twist. Treating sleep apnea can restore these everyday joys. Seniors often report feeling like a curtain has been lifted. Suddenly, mornings feel lighter. Memory sharpens. Activities that once felt like chores become fun again. The change is so dramatic, many people say they didn't realize how much they were missing until treatment began. You might already know this connection exists. It might even sound basic, but when you finally experience the difference, when fatigue gives way to energy, the results aren't just noticeable, they're life-changing. Truly, the results are out of this world. Engaging the viewer. Now, before we move forward, I want to pause for just a moment and talk directly to you. If you've been nodding along thinking, yes, that sounds familiar, then you're not alone. And I'd love for you to help me out right here. If you're still watching at this point, type the number 1 down in the comments below. That's your way of letting me know you're here, you're engaged, and this information is connecting with you. Why is this important? Because sleep apnea can feel isolating. Many seniors go through it quietly, thinking they're the only one struggling. But when you comment, when you type 1, you're not just supporting this channel, you're showing others that they're not alone either. You're creating a small moment of connection that could encourage someone else to finally seek help. Plus, your interaction helps keep this conversation going. It tells the platform this is a message worth sharing, and that means more seniors, maybe even someone in your own circle, will see it and benefit. So if you've made it this far, take a second, type 1, and join the conversation. It might feel like a small action, but trust me, it makes a big difference. And the more we share, the more we help each other move toward better nights and brighter days. The hidden risks behind sleep apnea. Now that we've covered how sleep apnea affects your nights and your days, let's look deeper into the hidden risks. Sleep apnea doesn't just make you tired, it places a heavy burden on your heart, lungs, and brain. Every pause in your breathing is like a stress test. Your blood pressure spikes, your heart races, and your oxygen levels drop. Over time, this repeated strain increases the risk of serious health issues, high blood pressure, stroke, heart disease, even type 2 diabetes. For seniors, this matters even more. Many of you are already managing health concerns. Adding untreated sleep apnea to the mix can make those conditions worse and harder to control. For example, if you're taking medication for hypertension but still waking up with disrupted breathing, your blood pressure may remain stubbornly high. Doctors often call sleep apnea a silent amplifier because it quietly makes everything else harder. But here's the good news. Identifying and addressing sleep apnea can actually improve those other conditions. Seniors treated for apnea often see better blood pressure control, steadier heart rhythms, and clearer thinking. It's like unlocking a secret weapon for your overall health. You might already suspect this connection. It might even seem basic once you hear it. But once you see how dramatically your body responds to better sleep and oxygen, the results are nothing less than out of this world. Emotional toll, more than just fatigue. Beyond the physical risks, sleep apnea takes an emotional toll that often goes unnoticed. Think about how you feel after just one bad night's sleep. Irritable, foggy, maybe a little short-tempered. Now imagine that happening night after night for months, even years. For many seniors, that's the reality of untreated sleep apnea. You may find yourself snapping at loved ones, withdrawing from activities, or losing interest in hobbies that once brought joy. You may feel frustrated by your own forgetfulness or worried about becoming a burden. These emotions can snowball, leaving you feeling isolated or even depressed. And because it happens gradually, it's easy to blame age or circumstances instead of recognizing the true cause. Your body is being starved of the rest and oxygen it desperately needs. The hopeful part? This cycle can be reversed. Many seniors describe a renewed sense of joy once they address their sleep apnea. They laugh more easily, reconnect with friends, and rediscover activities they thought they'd lost interest in forever. Better sleep doesn't just restore energy, it restores confidence and emotional balance. It might seem basic, but don't underestimate it. You might already know sleep is important, but the difference between poor sleep and truly restorative rest is life-changing. And yes, the results are out of this world. A partner's perspective. Let's not forget another important angle, the perspective of your spouse, partner, or even family members who live with you. Sleep apnea doesn't just affect the person who has it, it affects the whole household. A partner might be kept awake by loud snoring, sudden gasps, or restless movements. They may feel worried watching you struggle to breathe, yet powerless to help. Over time, this can create tension, frustration, and even resentment. Many seniors tell me their partner was the first one to notice something was wrong. A husband or wife might say, "You stopped breathing last night," or "I was scared you weren't going to wake up." These comments are often brushed off as exaggerations, but they are critical clues. Partners are sometimes the only witnesses to what happens during the night. The ripple effect goes beyond the bedroom. A partner who is also sleep deprived becomes more fatigued and irritable during the day. Relationships suffer. Simple conversations can feel strained. But when sleep apnea is diagnosed and treated, it often heals both the sleeper and the relationship. Couples report sleeping better together, feeling more connected, and enjoying each other's company again. It might seem simple, but don't ignore what your partner says. You might already know they notice more than you do. Listening to them could be the key that unlocks your health, and the results, once again, are out of this world. Misdiagnosis and overlap with aging. One of the most challenging parts of recognizing sleep apnea in seniors is how easily it overlaps with the normal signs of aging. Feeling tired during the day, that's just part of getting older, right? Waking up often at night, that must be the bladder. Trouble remembering names must be senior moments. These assumptions are common, but they can hide something much more serious. Doctors, too, sometimes miss it. Because symptoms like fatigue, forgetfulness, or irritability are so common among seniors, they may be chalked up to aging or to other conditions like depression, arthritis, or even side effects of medication. This means many seniors go years without realizing that sleep apnea is at the root of their struggles. The danger is in delay. The longer sleep apnea goes untreated, the more strain it puts on your heart, brain, and body. And yet the solution could be as simple as a sleep study and a tailored treatment plan. Recognizing that your symptoms might not just be getting older, but actually treatable is a powerful shift. You might already know this overlap exists. It might sound basic, but realizing that not everything you feel is just age
opens the door to real improvements. And when you finally reclaim your nights, the results ripple across your health, your happiness, and your future. The results truly are out of this world. Safety concerns, driving, and falls. Another overlooked aspect of sleep apnea is its effect on safety, particularly driving and balance. Daytime sleepiness isn't just inconvenient, it can be dangerous. Seniors with untreated sleep apnea are at a higher risk of drowsy driving, delayed reaction times, and even accidents behind the wheel. Imagine nodding off for just a second at a stoplight or missing a turn because your focus slipped. That's not a small issue, it's life-threatening. But it doesn't stop at driving. Fatigue and poor focus also increase the risk of falls, one of the most serious dangers for older adults. A moment of dizziness on the stairs, a stumble in the kitchen, or a misstep in the yard. All of these risks rise when your body is exhausted and your brain is foggy. Falls can lead to fractures, hospital stays, and long-term loss of independence. This is why recognizing and treating sleep apnea matters so deeply. It's not just about sleeping better, it's about living safer. When you are well-rested, alert, and balanced, you're not only protecting your health, but also your independence. You might already know sleep ties into safety. It might even sound simple, but when a solid night's sleep reduces your risks and helps you stay strong and independent, the impact is extraordinary. Once again, the results are out of this world. The most effective method for seniors. Now let's talk about the method most seniors find effective for addressing sleep apnea. While there are several treatment options, one stands above the rest in proven results. The CPAP machine, short for continuous positive airway pressure. I know, the idea of wearing a mask at night may not sound appealing at first, but here's the truth. CPAP therapy is considered the gold standard because it keeps your airway open all night, preventing those dangerous pauses in breathing. Seniors who commit to using CPAP often report life-changing improvements. They wake up feeling refreshed, their memory sharpens, their mood stabilizes, and their energy levels soar. Partners sleep better too because the snoring and gasping are gone. Yes, it takes a little adjustment, but once you get used to it, the benefits are undeniable. Beyond CPAP, lifestyle changes like losing weight, avoiding alcohol before bed, or sleeping on your side can make a big difference. For some, dental devices or even surgery may be recommended. But the key is getting a proper sleep study and working with your doctor to find the best plan for you. You might already know about CPAP. It might even sound basic, but the reality is, when used consistently, this simple machine can deliver results that are truly out of this world. Better sleep, better health, better life. We've covered a lot today. Snoring, morning headaches, daytime fatigue, sudden awakenings, memory problems, emotional tolls, safety concerns, and treatment options. But here's the single most important point I want you to take away. You don't have to accept poor sleep as part of aging. Sleep apnea is common, but it's also treatable. And treating it can transform your health, your relationships, and your future. Imagine waking up energized, clear-headed, and ready to enjoy your day. Imagine feeling safe behind the wheel, steady on your feet, and joyful in your relationships. That's what addressing sleep apnea can unlock. And here's the part that excites me the most. You might already know some of this. It might even seem basic. But when you take action, when you finally say, "I deserve better sleep," the results you'll experience are nothing short of out of this world. Now, here's what I'd love for you to do. If this video has resonated with you, type "better sleep" in the comments below. That's your declaration. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Share it with a friend, a sibling, or even your doctor's office. You never know whose life you could touch by spreading this message. Remember, your nights matter, your health matters, and you deserve the brighter, healthier future that better sleep can bring.